All right, so AI is not a strange conversation here on Offbeat POV. It is something that we have spoken about multiple times. And now there's a new trend that has started that I quite don't know how I feel about it, but I think by the end of this discussion, I would have come to a conclusion. I wanted to bring it off POV so that Chin and I can talk about it, see what we think, see what you guys think, and is it a force for good? Is it not? I really don't know. Let's take a look at it and then we will dive into our conversation. It's just a sample of the many clips that are circulating and going viral.
Okay.
Good, fam. Your boy David here, about to yeet this little stone at Goliath and see what happens.
Okay, so I told y'all to trust the process, but no, y'all wanted to stay in Egypt stacking bricks.
Yo, it's Shadrach. This random dude just showed up. It's getting lit in here.
I got the horses in the back. Horse tack is attached. Hat is matte black. Got the boots that's black to match.
You know I'm a daddy's boy. He's got me in this Technicolor drip. Brother's so jelly right now. They're looking a little sus.
These Philistines thought they could flex on me. Big mistake. I just took some pre-workout and finna bring the house down.
I would like to formally apologize to God, the sailors, and this whale. Sorry, dude. Good, fam. Your boy David here, about to yeet this little stone at Goliath and see what happens.
Oh, Lord.
Jonah is wild.
I mean, that's not wild. That's that's a redemption moment, isn't it?
All right, so I'll tell you my problem. First and foremost, my issue is if it's meant to be comical, the clips that we've watched, apart from the Jonah one, they were not comical enough for me, and they were not. I don't think those are the kind of things that they would have been saying. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now I understand that maybe they're trying to make them now back then, which is what my problem, because then it's not something, it's not relatable. I think if it had been pure content that this is how they actually might have been feeling, I think I would feel different about it. Or if it was or if it was just straight up funny, then I think I would also feel different about it, because then I would be like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna take this seriously. It's just a bit of fun. But if we take it seriously, I do believe we've made this argument before in terms of creating movies or content that could bring to life some of the biblical stories. So AI is now able to do that instantly, or however it is that it does. So it could be a force for good. I'm just not on board yet with the AIs at the moment, these clips, because there's still a disconnect for me. I'm not relating to them. I understand it, I see it, but I'm not yet relating to them. So that's my problem. That's the only problem that I have. Aside from that, like I said, I really think it could be a force for good. I really think it could be one of them ones where we can better visualize how life might have been like, especially for people of God. There's one that I saw of Daniel as well in the lion's den. Again, I didn't feel connected because what he was saying, I'm just like, no, he was the way it's given to us, these were men of God like Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. They should have been worshiping, praising. That's what the Bible tells us. And you're saying that, some strange dude just turned up. It's a disconnect. That's why maybe the Jonah one got to me, because that sounds plausible, because the man was trying to run away from God and then look at where you ended up. So you saw what I mean? So it was really just to share thoughts. What do you think about it?
No, I mean, in terms of the disconnect, I think I definitely agree. But I think that comes from the perspective that obviously these are taken from the perspective of obviously if phones were around at that time.
At that time, exactly.
And if they had the ability to do selfies, what sort of things may they have been broadcasting, so, right?
As we are talking, I'm just thinking of Moses, but no.
So, I mean, I agree with you. The issue is the social media that we're aware of is social media that glorifies self and arrogance and flaunts your life and your lifestyle, whatever. And they've taken that mentality of social media and applied it to the biblical characters, which I think is why you're feeling that disconnect. Because
that's not how they would have presented themselves.
That's not how
their characters are given to us in the Bible.
Like you said, I think what I agree with, which I'm surprised because I didn't think I'd agree with it, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's a fair enough point, is that if someone wanted to just go comical and be like, okay, fine, let's make this funny, arrogance and that kind of attitude wouldn't be the way that you would go as a Christian. Because as Christians, we don't find things like arrogance and flaunting things around,
or we shouldn't.
Funny, or we shouldn't rather, right? So we have a different sense of humor, which is a sense of humor. I guess maybe you can say it's a bit more pure, it's a bit more childlike, it's a bit more, we take joy in the lighter things of life, right? So I guess maybe if we wanted to go comical, maybe that's the direction that these clips should have gone. But yeah, I think I'd agree with you. Overall, I think it's a 2. Right, it's a 2. So
100%.
It depends on how it's going to be used.
In the hands of the one who's wielding this.
Exactly. Is it something that can be really, really good and, like you said, maybe bring some of the Bible passages and some of the stories and some of the, like revelation imagery or whatever to life? And for the first time, you can actually comprehend what John might have been seeing in Revelation.
100%, yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think it can be good in that sense. But unfortunately, like with many tools, it's going to be prone to abuse and people will use it for silly stuff like this.
It's interesting you should say that, especially about the Revelation thing. I saw an AI image of an angel, apparently. And the point that they were making was saying that no wonder why everybody fell down in fear, in prostrate. Because imagine this thing appears in front of you.
Yeah.
Most of us, we have a picture of an angel like Gabriel, handsome man, wings, flies down, wagwan, everybody, how's it going, but some imageries, especially when we read like Ezekiel, for example, the throne that's given to us, and when we talk about Revelation, I always think about the locusts, or the ones that came from hell. I think it was from the abyss, bottomless pit. You think about Daniel, for example, with the beasts that were rising. These are images that I do believe AI can bring into existence, because it is that great of a tool that God has allowed mankind to create, that it can actually bring us a proper, clear imagery of what the Bible is describing.
Yeah.
And that could aid in understanding, that could aid at least in comprehending some of these things. So that no wonder why, they fell prostrate, for example. You can put yourself in certain situations of certain men of God and be like, ooh, the fact that you stood in this presence, okay, Moses, all right, Kumaji.
I think the unfortunate thing is with the advancement of AI, which literally every month there's like another milestone that AI makes, because now with Google's, I think it's VO3, which I think is what they use to create stuff like that. It's a recent launch. It's taken it to the different game, because before AI characters wouldn't really speak. Any voice that been would have to be added afterwards. But now you can actually create them and they're speaking. And I think the unfortunate thing is now we're entering a phase where Christians will have to start exercising discernment
100%.
When it comes to AI content creation stuff, because
100%.
not everything that's going to be created with AI, even by Christians, will be good for for our building, righteous, and something that we should be taking joy in. So yes, great too. All the AI concerns notwithstanding, but unfortunately it's just another thing where Christians now have to exercise discernment. It's another thing that could cause a stumbling block for us if we're not careful, which is just the state of the world. And I think AI will be a very big player in the end time events. That's a personal thing. But I think a lot of the things that are portrayed in Revelation could be as a result of very advanced AI. Not right now, we're at the beginning stages of AI, right? Because now what's not possible? Holograms will be here pretty soon because we're pretty much there already. So holograms will be here, automated like robots and robot servants and stuff like that. You know, the whole iRobot kind of world. It's just around the corner now. We've started, and there's no putting the genie back in the bottle, unfortunately.
I'm not going to probe too much on that because that's going to take us to different conversations.
No.
But what do you think about this sort of like trend that we're starting to see and the use of AI to bring to light some, or if not all, biblical experiences? Do you think it's a force for good, like we've previously discussed, or do you think it shouldn't exist at all? Do you think we should not be partaking with such content at all? I'll just repeat and finish off on what China said, that discernment is always the key, and that is why Christ left us with the Spirit, which is himself. Stay tuned for our Bible study series that are soon to be launched. Right, so we move on.
Yes.
So with the next clip, it's very simple, because all I wanted to know was, in a similar situation, what are you feeling? What are you thinking?